Hi, and welcome back to Adventure Studios. In today's video, we are going to be diving into the thrilling world of natural disasters with the 2017 film Oceans Rising. Join us as we explore the intense story of a scientist who races against time to save Earth from a catastrophic flood. Will he be able to accomplish what he set out to do? Stay tuned as we find out. The movie begins with news anchors around the world reporting catastrophic floods that have been taking everyone by surprise. At the same time, a solar flare occurs and causes shifts in the environment, including aurora borealis. Meanwhile, a scientist named Josh wakes up in the middle of the night and notices the northern lights. He picks up his compass, only to find that the needles are spinning out of control. He realizes that something has shifted on the planet and immediately alerts his wife Pam, who is a scientist just like him. The two of them rush to the space weather station where both of them work. While Pam prepares for a meeting, their boss Ron hands Josh his baby so that he too can attend the meeting. As Josh begins playing with the baby, Pam walks in behind him. Watching him play with the baby turns her mood sour and she turns away, but before she can leave, Josh notices her. Not sensing her mood, he tries to tell her that he thinks their planet is experiencing a polarity reversal, which means that the Earth's outer core is slowing down. Pam brushes his concerns off by telling him that these things happen once every million years and that they don't have anything to worry about. She then confesses that their fertility treatment failed. Josh tries to make her feel better by claiming that the world needs them now more than ever, but this only upsets her even further. Before she can say anything, the building starts shaking as another earthquake hits them. Pam dismisses their conversation and tells Josh that they will continue their conversation later. She joins the meeting with the president, who asks them to explain why they have lost power all over the country. Pam tells her that Earth has sustained damage from a solar flare, but that Josh, who is with the U.S. Geological Survey, has a plan that can help mitigate the situation. Josh turns towards the president and reveals that he thinks their magnetic fields are going to be hit by another solar flare that is going to weaken them. He claims that at this rate, they're going to see continents sinking and the beginning of the end of human life as they know it. When he is asked by a French scientist, Dr. Zikri, what his proposed solution is, Josh tells them that they need to jumpstart the Earth's core. Dr. Zikri thinks that it is impossible to do that, but once again, Josh argues that they can create black holes using particle colliders. Pam tries to tell Josh to stop talking, but he continues to push his idea, causing him to get kicked out of the meeting. Frustrated, Josh ends up quitting his job and heads home. Later that day, when Pam returns home from work, she finds Josh packing his stuff up. He tells her that he is going away to try and save their planet. The two of them get into another argument where Pam insists that he is throwing his career away. However, Josh refuses to change his mind and leaves. 3 years after their explosive fights, Pam watches as reports of mass floods all over the world come in. She then notices that, as Josh had predicted, the Earth's magnetic fields have significantly weakened, leaving them defenseless. Knowing that she needs to get Josh back so that they can figure out a solution together, Pam books tickets to Galveston, Texas, where he has been working for the past 3 years. When she arrives there, Pam finds Josh loading up a boat. She tries to convince him to come back with her so that they can figure out a solution. However, Josh is no longer interested in helping anyone. Pam reveals that Earth was hit by another solar flare, but Josh interrupts her, claiming that he knows that they are one solar flare away from being underwater. Josh continues loading up boxes of food onto his boat, and Pam follows him, begging for him to reconsider the offer. This does not sit well with him, and he harshly tells her that he cannot stand looking at her after she dismissed his concerns. Just as he gets off the boat, Pam notices that they are too late as a large tidal wave is headed right for them. Horrified, she screams and tells Josh to get in her car, but he reminds her that they have a better chance of surviving on the boat. He then tells her to close the hatch while he cuts off the rope anchoring the boat. Before he can cut it, he gets engulfed by the water, but manages to cut it underwater. Pam, who was still on the boat, starts calling out for him. She's able to breathe in relief when Josh climbs onto the boat. He tells her that they are going to pick up as many survivors as they can before they can figure out a solution. The two of them rescue 9 people, including an older man named Mel and a woman named Marjorie with her young son, Ron. While Pam captains the boat, Josh and another man named Nick head out onto the deck to look for more survivors, when all of a sudden they get hit by strong sun rays that cause an extreme sunburn. Josh acts quickly and ducks inside. He then tells Pam about the situation outside. As soon as Pam hears about this, she tells Josh that the oxygen is escaping their environment much faster than they had anticipated. At this point, she knew that the only solution might be to go with Josh's original plan. She tells him that they need to jumpstart the Earth's core like he had proposed. To her surprise, Josh agrees and tells her that he will drop her in New York at the weather station and then head for CERN in France so that they can use the 2 colliders to jumpstart the core. Several hours later, they arrive in New York only to discover that half of the city is submerged underwater. Thankfully, the facility is still safe, but is surrounded by debris that they will have to remove before they can reach it. Josh puts everyone to work and tells them to use anything that they can find to clear the way. Somehow, they reach the facility where Pam and a few survivors get off. Once Josh and the other survivors make their way to France, Pam tells everyone with her that they need to build a wall to keep the water out of the facility. As they get to work, she rushes inside and tells the scientists there about the plan, explaining that they are going to create 2 black holes at the same time to jumpstart the Earth's core. The only thing they need to wait for is Josh's signal from the CERN facility to get started. Meanwhile, Pam notices young Ron playing while his mother mourns the loss of her husband. When Pam asks her if she is okay, Marjorie blows up, claiming that when they were hit by the flood, she was on her way to a grocery store. Ron had held on to her, which is why she was not able to help her husband, who ended up drowning. Pam tries to tell Marjorie that it was not Ron's fault since he was too young to understand what was happening, but she is too far gone and angrily leaves the room. On the other hand, the survivors outside manage to complete the wall and begin celebrating their small win when all of a sudden another tidal wave knocks an electricity pole into the water. As everyone prepares for it to fall and wreak havoc, they are relieved to see that the pole falling far away from their wall. Before anyone can relax, Marjorie accidentally steps into a puddle and gets electrocuted. A survivor named Tom tries to help her, but he too grabs a metal ladder and gets electrocuted. He is saved by a survivor named Rob, who pulls him away from the ladder, but no one is able to get to Marjorie and she dies on the spot. Hearing the commotion outside, Pam is shocked to find that Marjorie has died. One of the men orders the soldiers at the facility to cut off the power before anyone else can get electrocuted. With the power cut off, Pam tells him that they won't be able to power up the collider. He suggests that they can connect it to a direct source of power. When Pam offers to do it, he reminds her that she needs to survive because she now has Ron to look after as well. As he gets to work, Pam heads back inside to have a difficult conversation with Ron, informing him that his mother has succumbed to her injuries. On the other hand, Josh and the other survivors find themselves caught in the middle of another violent storm. This is when he notices that there is water inside the boat due to the damage it has sustained. He tells everyone to start dumping out the water as he tries to come up with a temporary fix for the leak. After a futile attempt to fix it, he realizes that they need to reduce the weight for their boat to continue moving at a stable pace. He tells everyone that they need to throw out all the non-essential items on board since they are close to France. Just when everyone heads towards the storage room to do as they are told, a survivor named Greg starts to lose it and threatens to shoot anyone who tries to throw anything overboard. He claims that they will not survive without food, despite assurances by Josh that they are not far from the shore. When Josh tries to fight him, Greg presses the trigger and shoots him in the shoulder. Knowing that he does not have another choice, Josh gives in and retreats with his injured shoulder. He then tells everyone to throw out everything but the food. Greg agrees with this and helps unload everything. The next morning, they reach France and head for the CERN facility. There, Dr. Zickery helps Josh come up with the right calculations. They call Pam and instruct her to turn the colliders on at the same time. As soon as the colliders connect, the Earth's magnetic field regains its power. Before they celebrate, Josh tells them that they need to turn the colliders off at the same time, or all the work they have just done with go down the drain. Josh's team manages to turn their collider off, but Pam's collider begins to malfunction. Despite Josh telling her to get out, she insists on staying and tries to come up with a solution. Minutes away from total destruction, Pam rushes outside and takes an axe to manually cut off the wire powering the collider. As soon as she brings the axe down, a strong electrical shock sends her flying back and knocks her unconscious. Back in France, Josh and the team find that they have managed to save Earth in the nick of time. This makes Josh realize that life is too short for him to not be back with Pam. Did you enjoy the video? Leave a comment below if you enjoyed the recap and let us know your thoughts. More videos are coming your way soon, so don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on future recaps. Thanks for watching.